It takes time and effort to become good at something. But with a good plan and right ambition level, you can achieve your goals much quicker and easier. In this video, I'm going to give you some advices about things that you have to think about in order to avoid some common mistakes while working with the guide. I mean, working on yourself. Before I start, I just want to say that you have to have watched my previous video before watching this one. If you haven't done that, click this link in the right corner, watch it, and come back here. The first part in the guide is self-reflection, where you have to get to know yourself better. In this part, I'm talking about the mental muscles that we have to work on in order to become mentally stronger. Those muscles are focus, fantasy, decisiveness, endurance, empathy, courage, and self-distance. The second part is goal setting. In this part, you will have to choose what you want to achieve, both short-term and long-term. After the self-reflection part, you will have to know yourself better, and it will help you formulate some of your goals. You're gonna start setting goals about different areas in your life. And later, in the planning section, you're gonna get an exercise on how to divide them in different areas so that you can make a good plan and be able to work on more goals simultaneously. The last part is journaling and evaluation. In this part, you will have to write everything you do, how you feel, what you're implementing from the things that you've prepared earlier in the guide that are supposed to help you, and evaluate yourself. You will have to find what works for you and what doesn't, and what you should start doing more and what you should stop doing. I have given you some space in the book, but what I would recommend is take a separate notebook that is going to be like your diary for evaluation and journaling and write monthly conclusions in the guide. All this process is repeatable, but the details in every new cycle are going to be different from the previous one. In that way, you're going to be able to track and see your progress. The first thing to think about is that you should not evaluate your potential looking at what you have done before and what you're doing today. Many people think that it's the reasonable way how you can find your potential, but it's the wrong way that limits you. We cannot grow our muscles if we lift the same weight all the time or we decrease the weight. They grow only if we increase the weight little by little. If you don't put limits on yourself, believe me, you're going to be surprised how much you can achieve. Instead of looking at what you're doing or what you have done, you should look at your idols or someone you admire and take example from them. Start challenging yourself and make the changes that are needed in order to get where you want to be, no matter how much it's going to cost you. When it's time for planning, a common mistake that I did as well is too high ambition level and a wrong belief on how quickly things should go. Another common mistake is not being specific about what you have to do. And lastly, forgetting about your plan and letting other things to distract you. In order to find your right level of ambition, you should ask yourself how much experience you have of following a plan. The following classification might help you find your right level. You're a beginner if you're setting a goal for the first time. In this case, you should not expect to know what capacity you have and how long time it's going to take you to achieve the goal. What you should do is just focus to do the tasks that you have to do, write down how things are going and how you're feeling, evaluate, polish the plan, and continue. But don't be so quick in changing the plan. Every beginning feels overwhelming, so take at least a month or two before you start changing and adjusting your plan. You're an amateur if you have had goals that you have achieved, some with a plan and some by following your gut. You have succeeded and you have failed, so you kind of have an understanding on what works for you and what to avoid. Before starting to write the plan, sit and think about the following questions. What made you to do the tasks? What kept you motivated? What made you fail? Which mistakes should you avoid this time? Should you add something in your schedule that will increase your productivity? How did you manage to keep yourself disciplined? How did you deal with negative thoughts and emotions? And the answers to those questions are going to make the planning simpler. You're a pro if you have a lot of experience in challenging yourself. You're a leader and an idol for many. But everyone can always be better. So you might want to achieve a goal for a shorter time than before, or maybe with less effort. If you're there, you know already what you have to do. Don't be lazy and think that you do not need a plan this time around just because you have the experience. If you don't make the plan, you might fall back. Same as when you take a longer pause from the gym and it feels much harder when you start over again. If I have to find my category, I would say that I'm an experienced amateur. After the plan is done, do the job, journal, and evaluate. You're gonna fail maybe a couple of times, but you should know that it's nothing dangerous or bad. You're just learning and getting to know yourself better. So polish your plan a little bit and start over again. Repeat all that until you reach the final destination and without too much overthinking. No dream has come true by looking at what you have today. So close your eyes and start over. Let your fantasy show you the way. Now you have everything you need to start doing the job. If you want to receive my guide, send me a message on Instagram with your email or directly an email to my email. And don't forget to hit this like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you're ready to start this journey. Every single like, comment, and subscribe means a lot to me and supports my channel so that I can grow. So I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I hope that the guide that I made for you is gonna help you. And don't hesitate to reach out and ask me if you wonder something or tell me what you have on your mind. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you in the next one.